Right, so let's go back to the start of the week, Neil. What have you been dealing with? What's going on?
Well, we tested on Monday, and there were some lads positive and some staff positive, so we cleared the decks of the training ground more or less all week. Um, as you know, like everything else, it seems to be rife at the moment, doesn't it, all around the country? So we wanted to take quick precautions, and that's what we did.
And with players showing symptoms as well, or staff showing symptoms as well, you've done a further round of testing yesterday, haven't you? Which you had
Yeah,
to
we did a further round of tests yesterday, but there's nothing untoward now. I think a couple of staff members, but other than no players, thankfully. So we were glad we did that early doors in the week. We did that off our own backs, the club. We weren't made to do that, but we wanted to do that on Monday. So I'm really pleased that we did that now, because obviously the lads that have isolated were for 10 days from Monday. Are you with me? So it doesn't reflect much of me. Obviously I want to go down to Brentford. I love the FA Cup. It's something I've always been brought up with since I was a kid. We used to set the alarms and get up at 7 o'clock so we could be in front of the television at 8 o'clock and have breakfast, have an FA Cup breakfast, and then all the things, and right up to the teams coming out, and it was just an amazing day. So I love the FA Cup. So I don't want to go down, even though I know that we can just play the 23s. I don't want to do that. I want to play as many as I can from the group. I don't just want to throw the tie away. So we are working really hard. I think there'll probably be 50% of the squad under 23s, but it will be supplemented with the first team lads.
So is that because essentially 50% of your squad are having to isolate, or are you leaving some out just to make sure they don't travel and you lessen the risk?
A bit of everything, really. Obviously, the lads that have got it and the lads that have had symptoms can't be involved anyhow. And that's about, I don't know how many altogether, but quite a few of them. And then there's, other than that, then there's, you've got to think at this moment in time, we are travelling 4 hours down on a carriage, 5.5 hours back. For some reason, we're playing at 6 o'clock, which means we're going to get back at 2 o'clock in the bloody morning on the buses. So we've just got to take extra precaution. Really, we've sent the lads that aren't travelling. We've had them in today to give them the GPS so they can do sessions at home. The fitness guys are giving them all sessions so we know what they're doing. But we won't be in the training ground now until Wednesday. I think Monday, Tuesday. Although we will be testing again on Monday, but we'll be doing it like we did last Monday, driving in, having the test, driving away. We won't be training at the training ground till Wednesday at the earliest.
So just to be clear then, you've got the results from yesterday and the game is, you've got enough players to play the game?
Well, we would, even if we'd have had positives, we could have played the 23s, are you with me? But I don't want to do that. I want to try and play as strong a side as I can and include the 23s so that it's not, they're not getting, I don't want to get battered. And so I don't think it'll do any good for the 23s if it's like that. I was told I could do that, if I'm honest. But I don't want to do that. I think we've got to give. Brentford's a great place to be, a lovely stadium. They have a really strong team, and I think the lads that are in the team have got things to show me. A couple of the lads volunteered to play, came and asked me, "Can we play the game?" And even though I'd decided to leave them at home, they're gonna be in the team. So I was quite happy about that. At the same time, it's just shuffling the pack and seeing what we've got, really.
And I know obviously you're concentrating on tomorrow and the Cup, but with isolation periods, how much of next weekend of Birmingham was in your mind when you decided to get the test done back at the start of the week?
Well, I think we had to look ahead. It was a joint decision, really. Neil Bowser and myself, we talked about all this because we weren't we're not supposed to test until yesterday. But we felt the week before this virus was like going everywhere, wasn't it? Everybody was catching it. There was nobody immune to it. So we felt it was appropriate to get them done on the Monday morning. So we had them in first thing on the Monday morning, so we would get the results back Monday night. And then same with the lads that were feeling have the effects over the weekend. One or two of them didn't feel well on Monday as well. So at the same time, we managed to isolate them as well. So I'm glad we did that now, because we'd be doing that now if we hadn't done it on Monday. So it's I'm really pleased that we've done that.
And amidst all of this chaos, if we can call it that, you have had some good news, haven't you, with Duncan Watmore signing his new deal? Is that a relief?
Yeah, I think I was never in doubt really in the fact that I was one that if he didn't sign it, that's his loss. That's what I thought. He's never going to enjoy himself as much as him playing for me and playing with this group of lads. So if he went somewhere else, you'd have to see what I believe in fate, me. So I think he's basically told me he's wanted to sign from day one. And not many lads would have done what he's done, come on 3 or 4 weeks trial, because we couldn't sign anybody at that time. So I think he's earned it. I think he's warranted it. He's shown what he can do. He's improved week by week. And I think he'll contribute over the next few years.
He's had an enormous impact, hasn't he? I mean, to already be your top scorer in such a short space of time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like I'm looking at Fletcher and saying to him, I want him to be our top scorer this season. So it's challenges all the time, and I think we are getting better. If I'm honest, I think we're looking sharper, attacking wise. I think we're getting our heads around exactly what I want us to do, and we're enjoying it. I think you can see we're enjoying it. And listen, we're gonna have accidents like we have. I call Preston and Stoke accidents, but we're gonna have games. Well, not the Stoke game. I thought we should have won that, if I'm honest. But the Preston game, we're going to have days like that. But it's a limited. I think every team's going to have that. If you look at the top of the table, they're all losing the odd game here and there. We've got to try and get some consistency. And, I don't think anybody's really looking at us as a threat, if I'm honest. I think that, you look at the top six as it is, and they're all the big established clubs. So, I think little old Middlesbrough's just got to keep ticking on.
And just lastly, with regards to tomorrow, clearly your preparation's just been blown up, hasn't it? I mean, it's like no other game you're going to play. So have you any idea what to expect from the team you put out tomorrow?
No, I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a clue. That's why, I was told that I hadn't got to go if I didn't want, but I feel it's important that I go, especially when I've had it. I'd rather, Ronnie not go down, and we don't risk all the staff. We're taking a skeleton staff, and I'm sure Brentford have got problems. We've all got problems, so we've just got to do what we've got to do. Yes, I could have done without the game, but as I've said, it's a great opportunity for people like Nathan Woods, isn't it, to come into the team and have a real go and show us what he can do against some of the best forwards in the division. So I'm really looking forward to it, mate. It's as I've said. The FA Cup, I don't want to play the 23s, if I'm honest. No disrespect to them. I want to give them a good game tomorrow. We'll be practicing penalties today, us.
How's it gone?
Quite right, we will.
Well, good luck. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hey Neil, how's things?
All right, thank you. You look nice and bright and alive this morning.
Make a bit of an effort, pick everybody up. You've got to look at Juicy every day, don't you?
Yeah, I know. Well, you can't be doing that every day. That would depress you, wouldn't it?
Just wanted to touch upon what you mentioned there about you'd had it, your experience. I wonder, is that a help for the team, knowing that, given what you do about the virus and how it can affect people?
I think looking at all the lads, I think you've just got to think about what it entails. I know how I felt. I felt absolutely shattered, and I didn't want to do anything. I'd make a cup of tea, fall asleep, make a cup, get up, make a cup of tea, put the tea down, and fall asleep before I drank it. We're that tired. So different things, then you lose your taste and your smell, and some people don't lose the taste and the smell. This is what we're up against. Everybody's different, really, and we've just got to make sure that everything's been covered. Really, that's why I wanted to go, if I'm honest, because I've had it, and I'm not saying I can't get it again, this new strain, but I do feel that with the changes we're making and the lads coming in, I think they need me to be there for them to show me what they can do. These lads, they've worked really hard in the background this season, and I can't fault anybody in the squad, me. So it's a good opportunity for me. Yeah, it'll be a weakened side, but you know, I would imagine Brentford will have one or two lads trying to impress as well.
And obviously, it's 17, 18 years ago now, but I recall that memorable season you had at Sheffield United when you got to the Cup semi-final. It's a different game, obviously, now with more pressure on. But, I mean, when you talk about how much you love the FA Cup, I imagine memories like that come flooding back.
Well, the FA Cup, up my memories of Graham Poll, if I'm honest. Laughing away as he come off after having made Arsenal's winning goal. That's my memories. So at least he won't be refereeing, will he?
He won't be refereeing this weekend, Neil. No, you've got that in the bag. But, I mean, when you look back on the positive sides of
Fabulous
that run as well, I mean, you talk about Middlesbrough, you know, not really being rated by any of the big guns, but Sheffield United at the time was very similar.
No, we weren't. He was brilliant as well. He brought, you know, it brought everything in the town together, really. I mean, we got to not just the FA Cup, we got to the League Cup semi-final in the same year. You know, so it was a fabulous year. It did take it out of us, if I'm honest, because we got to I think that's when we got to the playoff final and we were shattered. But it was a great, you know, we had some great nights at Bramall Lane. But you know, it's slightly different. I mean, this, and nobody's ever seen anything like this, really. We don't know what's around the corner, but it's still a great competition, a great cup to win. I'm sure the top clubs looking at the draw, you know, there's one or two Premier League clubs going to be knocked out, isn't there? So, you know, it's a great opportunity. I'm sure Josie will be looking at that and thinking, another cup here for me, you know.
Yeah, for sure. And like you say, I imagine for people steeped in football history in this country, the integrity of this competition is paramount above all else, isn't it?
Well, you've got to, you know, you can't just, like a lot of the press, you know, it shouldn't be played this year and, you know, we should forfeit it. Why should we forfeit it? It's the greatest cup in the world, I think, the FA Cup. And it's played and it needs revenue. And if it gives other people a chance to play in it, then they can always say they played in the greatest competition in the world. So I'm not into that about, you know, we could do without it and all this, that and the other. I want us to go and enjoy it, me. And I want to see the lads that probably haven't been playing regular. I want them to be on top of the game and really enjoy it. That's what I want tomorrow.
Absolutely. Well, best of luck this weekend, Neil.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Mark.
Morning, Neil.
Where are you? Oh, I've got you. Yep, carry on, son.
In terms of this game, I suppose without COVID, you're talking about a game where you can test yourselves against one of your promotion rivals. Now, obviously, you're going to have a weakened side. Do you try and instill in the lads a sense that you could be real giant killers in a sense, you know, because of the weakness in the number of players you can select?
I think it's really been different because I actually picked the team last week for the game, and it's completely different to what it was going to be. You know, I was definitely going to play more of the first teams because they wanted to play, and people like, you know, well, I won't name names. I don't want to give too much away, do I? But you know, there were players wanting to play that I decided not to play, and vice versa. But that's all changed over the weekend, and obviously Monday, Tuesday. But I want to see us enjoy the game. I want to see us, you know, it's, you know, like I say, I was told that I didn't have to go and we could put the 23s in and things like that. And I know nothing will be said, but I don't want my lads to get, I would be disappointed if we get battered. I don't want us to get battered. I want us to try and put a performance. And yeah, if we get beat, then we get beat. But I want us to try and, I want the lads that are playing to show me what they can do. And we've got some ability in the team, without a shadow of a doubt.
Can you give us a sense of roughly how many first teamers might be involved tomorrow?
Well, it depends what you call first teamers. You know, I mean, in the squad, over 50% will be first teamers, what I call first teamers, and then the rest will be supplemented with the 23s. You know, I'm lucky. I have seen the 23s on a couple of occasions, so I am aware of of the strength of their squad, and that would be represented, with in the. I mean, we'll only have probably 7 subs, so we'll only have probably an 18 squad. Are you with me? So and that will we'll see what the situation is then when it, like I say, probably 50% of the 23s, 50% of the first team.
And with all the first team, you'd have your hands full because Brentford have had a pretty good season like they did last year. They just sort of lost out at the end. But what they've done to the Premier League clubs in the League Cup shows just what they're capable of, doesn't it?
It does, but they'll not fancy playing against us, our full team either, pal, I'll tell you. So, you've got to, I don't think anybody's given them a better game than what we gave them. I'm sure Thomas will be quite pleased, in the situation. I'm looking forward to the game up here, if I'm honest. They have got a great side, but I think it's just a great advert for the Championship, me. The way they played against Tottenham. He'll probably be a little bit disappointed, if I'm honest, Thomas, at part of the game against Tottenham, because they looked a little bit nervous, and yet when they went into the game, they were more than enough, and you can't tell me that's offside. Would that have been offside at the other end? Eh? Well, I can't be having that, mate.
And in terms of the draw on Monday, I mean, if you're in the draw on Monday, I think they're doing the 4th and 5th round draws pretty much one after the other, so you could almost plot your route through the competition, and if you could pull something off.
Yeah, should we wait till after the game to decide that? I think we should. We shouldn't get above ourselves at the moment.
Great stuff. Good luck tomorrow, Nick.
Thank you very much. Chris, where are you, Chris?
Hey Neil, how you doing?
Got you. Yeah, all right, Paul.
Good. F Cup, is it a distraction? When you're going for promotion?
Well, not in this case. I mean, even last week when I planned the team, it was going to be a strong team, but it was going to give other people an opportunity to show me, like I say, coming in. So it might be, it's obviously slightly weaker than it was last week, but it's still a great opportunity. You don't get games like this for other lads to impress. You can't do that when you're playing yourselves or the 23s in training. This is a great chance for some of these lads to show us what they can do. Their agents have been telling me for months now how good they are, so let's see if they are.
Has the sort of emergence of the new variant down south, has that changed your travel plans? Because I know normally you would go the day before.
Yeah, we've been a little bit more strict. We are going the day before. We did think about going down in the morning with it being 6 o'clock, but it's too much of a rush really. And if with the weather now, it's snowing like mad up here at the minute. I don't think we can risk that. So we're going on the train down. We've managed to get another carriage, and I'm going to put them down to make sure we're strictly on sitting on their own, etc. We're only taking a skeleton staff. I think we're only taking five staff down. I think they're the same. I think Brentford have got a skeleton staff on tomorrow because it is rife down there. That's what I'm saying. It's disappointing that we're having to travel so many hours down and then coming back the same. So we're going to have to be strict on the buses. We've got 2 buses, obviously. We're going to have to be strict on where they sit, what they do. We've really got to be strict on that this trip, because then we've got a full week, and then we start again, don't we? Every week, 3 games a week. For goodness knows how long. So this is an opportunity for us to really adhere to the regulations and not have any more in the camp.
I know you said that you'd had obviously some positive tests, but did you have players who, when they were being tested, sort of had symptoms and were saying, "I think I've got it," or was it a complete?
Well, it was similar in that respect, because we did test first thing on the Monday morning, and we had 1 or 2 saying that they felt poorly Sunday night, Monday, and then some on the Monday. Are you with me? After the tests, so it was a mixture really of that, and you just don't know with this thing when it comes, and you don't know what symptoms are. I got a tickly cough, and I didn't feel tired at all. I just had this cough only for a couple of days. Some of the lads have never had a cough. They've just feel good, and they've tested positive. And some of the lads have had a cold symptoms. So and then we've had a couple of lads also with cold symptoms that have come back negative. So it's you just don't know who it is. We've lost 3 members of staff with it as well. So it doesn't really. You can't tell where it's going to come in.
I know you were saying, that you're taking Paddy McNary shopping. What a good boss you are. But I suppose now more than ever, it's important that the team pulls together and looks after each other.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they're a great bunch. They are a great bunch, and I can't stress enough. I mean, I'm telling them, I'm watching them and making sure that they do this and they do that. Managers can't follow players everywhere. It's impossible. I mean, I'd be very disappointed if my lads went to parties, I must admit. But I think you do as much as you can. But how can I have a go at them? I've had it myself, and I ain't got a clue where I got it from. So, it's something that you've just got to trust your players on, really, and you hope that the trust comes back in abundance.
And just last one for me, there's obviously been a lot of talk about football being called off in the weeks and perhaps months ahead because this virus is obviously now a lot more prevalent than it was. Would you be in favour of that or not?
I don't think so, no. I think the northeast where we are, I think it needs something like that mentally. I think you've got to have something to look forward to. Everything's depressing. Everything's, everybody's chin's on the ground and there's no good news, and you turn the news, and I love watching the news. I read 5 or 6 newspapers every day. I don't read Craig sometimes when he writes rubbish, but every time, all the other stuff I do, I read all the papers, and it's depressing, isn't it? You can just, if you're not careful, you can go out and bang your head against a wall. We've got to give them something that they can look forward to. Even if you don't get the right result and they have a moan at your situation and you picked the wrong team or you did this and that, it gives them something to look forward to. So I don't see that. I think football, I don't think that's a bad idea what somebody come up with about giving the jab to the footballers and then giving the money that's costing all these thousands of pounds to the NHS. I don't think that's a bad idea, if I'm honest. But then they'll say the footballers shouldn't be special cases. But I think the money that's costing in the EFL and people it would be lovely to give the NHS all that money.